The following is a presentation of the ForceCenter podcast feed.
As Obi-Wan Kenobi once said, hello there and welcome to Databank Brawl, the podcast where we learn about Star Wars characters, discuss them, share our feelings about those characters, and then make those characters fight for our amusement and yours. I'm your host. My name is Joseph Scrimshaw. With me, as almost always, is a little bit of whiskey and a lot of Ken Napzok. Cheers.
That's my glass. Cheers indeed, sir. Good to have our friend back. Good to be back.
Yeah. Back in the game. Mm-hmm. We are ready to have some fighting.
I did almost too much singing last week without whiskey.
It was very, that should be noted that it was extra impressive that you allowed yourself to open up that vulnerability.
Yes.
And just bust out those tunes without the help of whiskey.
For I am not a singer. But I tell you, the fact that songs continue to be an important part of Databank Brawl means one day we might get that Databank Brawl album.
Sleepy Time Bantha is going to be the number one hit. And everybody's ringtone is going to be Sleepy Time Bantha. And they'll be like, I wish people called me so I could hear Sleepy Time Bantha. Anyway, people who've been listening a long time, they know what they are in for. We get some information from StarWars.com databank, and we go off that. We look a little bit at Wikipedia, and then we just do a big make-em-up of a ridiculous, fun fight that is full of shame and glory, and we learn a little bit about the characters. We've been hopping around because we had some Last Jedi characters that we really focused on. Last week was a Rebels special to celebrate the return. And you know what? I decided it's been too long. It's been too long since we went all in on the old prequels.
Ooh, you got my attention, sir.
So this is a good prequels episode. Are you ready for your first combatant?
Absolutely.
Okay, this is a fella who I've wanted to have in Databank for a good long time. So glad he's finally here. It is Tion Medon.
Oh, yeah. You, going back to the Schmodown, answered this question.
Yes.
And I would have jumped on as well because I had specifically studied.
What's that guy's name?
Because I knew it was one of those things. You know, when you're studying Star Wars trivia, you know most of this stuff, but you're like, wait a minute. What was that name?
That guy.
Port Administrator.
Yep. Here we go. Here is the StarWars.com databank's entry on Tion Medon. Greeting Obi-Wan Kenobi during his search for General Grievous on windswept Utapau was Port Administrator Tion Medon. The tall, gaunt Utapau initially feigned ignorance about Grievous's whereabouts, but then whispered a warning to Kenobi. Grievous was indeed on the planet, hiding on the 10th level of the Sinkhole City with an army of thousands of battle droids.
Yes.
As database entries go, that is one of them. There's not a lot about the character. Like it's so interesting. Sometimes they're really juicy. Sometimes they really have like authoritative. Like this is what the character is like.
Yeah.
And this is just like I know Tion Medon did those things.
The problem is we might hold these all up to Dengar.
Yes, crude and slovenly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten now, this is episode 91. I'm getting real opinionated about the databank entries. I apologize. I'm grateful for them. Don't want to bite the website that feeds me. But we're going to have to go to Wikipedia for more because that's what happens in the events that he's in the film.
Right, absolutely. He's one of my favorite characters in Sith.
He's good.
He is one of the reasons I love the prequels.
Yeah.
Because it is an expanded universe, a truly expanded universe, a different planet with a different, wonderful alien species. He's a Powan. They call him Utapau, but they're actually Powans.
This is the second week in a row where we have corrected the database.
They're from Utapau, but he is Powan.
U like apostrophe?
P-A-U apostrophe A-N.
Yeah.
And that is also what the Grand Inquisitor is from Rebels. So I love a lot about this here. He's elegant. He's tall. He's 2.06 meters tall. He, male species, eye color black. And those teeth.
He's got the sharp little teeth and the red around the eyes, right?
Red around the eyes. And he's got, like I said, tall and elegant. He's very gangly. I don't know if Bruce Spence himself, the actor, I don't know if he might, maybe he's like a Doug Jones type, the tall and thin, and the wonderful Doug Jones. And I'm looking up some personalities and traits here for you there. See if they go. Appearance, he could be intimidating.
Yes.
Over 2 meters in height, like we said, but he was nonetheless helpful and gracious individual, welcoming guests to his homeworld and running Utapan's government alongside other members of his species. So I think that's some traits there. Gracious.
Yeah. Gracious.
Nice.
Yeah. And he is. It's interesting because a port administrator you would kind of think of as like gruff, like working the docks stereotype of like that crate goes over there.
Right.
But he's got much more of a ceremonial like greetings and welcome to our port.
I love it, and they do have some quotes, and he's so quotable. He's so quotable. The quote that is, "There's no war here unless you brought it with you." And then Obi-Wan is asking where the droids are, and it's a great exchange. 10th level, thousands of battle droids. And I love Obi-Wan's line, tell your people to take shelter. If you have warriors, now is the time. And as he walks away, did he bring help? He didn't say. It's one of my favorite lines in all of the prequels. I rambled to get to that point.
No, but every one of those lines is great because I love the way Tion Medon looks like he should be creepy. He's got that long face. He's got those sharp teeth. He's got the red around the eyes. Yeah. So I love it when he leans in. He's like, he is here. It's a little creepy. It builds up the ominous tension of Sith and of that combat. And if you have warriors, now's the time, has become a pretty big prequel meme. It's popping up more and more.
Really?
Oh,
I love that line. I love because it's kind of awkward by Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
But it's true. And also I like it speaks a little bit to the state of what's going on in the galaxy, if we can get deep on that line. And we're talking about Obi-Wan, not Tion Medon. But if you have warriors, now is the time. It is like an Admiral Raddus moment.
It is.
It's time to fight.
Yeah.
Time to fight.
Yeah.
We got some stuff going on here. It's not just me. And then I love, because I have that trait. My girlfriend will ask me, like, how did the meeting go? Oh, great, blah, 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 blah. Well, what about this? I'll be like, oh, I didn't ask. And so I love that they're like, is he going to bring more help? He didn't say. Like, you would expect. Tion, ask next time.
You're the port you're supposed to ask questions. Like, did they pay for that shipment? He didn't say. God damn it, Tion.
So there you go. This is why I just love diving into those prequels.
Yeah, because we learned so much more. I found a picture of Tion Medon that I'm kind of in love with. He's got the weird kind of cowl thing.
Yeah.
Basically, like, if you had someone who wanted to knit you a sweater and they just went crazy, it goes up to his ears. But look at this. Look at this picture. He's
very Nosferatu-like almost.
It's very Nosferatu. I looked it up because I was curious if I remembered correctly that he does have what look like good fighting claws on his hands, but he's also got a cool, elaborate cane thing. Yeah. He's kind of shot from above. In this photo, looks like Tion Medon absolutely produces hip-hop records.
So once again, Databank Brawl could get musical.
He's in charge, right?
Yes.
He knows who the hot young talent is.
He does. He looks like, you're going to go lay down some tracks at him at Sound City.
Yep, at Sound City with Tion Medon, the Utapawan or Powan, which does get used more often in like Star Wars books. That pops up a lot. I think there's a Powan somewhere in the Canto Bight novel. All right, so any other thoughts or opinions or feelings about Tion Medon?
No, other than I'm just going to have to set aside some of what I feel about him and let this fight be, fair.
Yeah, let the fight roll out the way it is. Yeah, I have some feelings about his character that maybe there's some incompetence there. Maybe he wishes he was in a different job. Maybe he does have a little bit of anger in him.
Right.
Yeah, there's some stuff going on there.
Okay.
So he is going to go up against another prequel character that I have wanted to fight for a long time. This is a prequel character that I've developed a strange relationship with because I look through the databank.
Right.
And it's not easy to scroll through because it's long, even if you just hit into the characters tab.
Oh, yeah.
It's so long. And if you click on a character and then you hit back, it takes you back to the beginning of the alphabet.
Yes.
So I scroll a lot.
It's like an old StarWars.com. Be modern in your way. You're like running a GeoCities website there.
Come on. Get up to date. I had this name in my head, and I was like, why is this name in my head? Why do I know this name? I've just scrolled past this name so much, And now it's finally this character's time to shine. And it is the extremely well-known character, Hermione Bagwa. I've dropped this one a couple times talking to Star Wars people, and they look at me very blankly.
Like this Hermione, like we're talking Hermione Korfeld.
Yeah.
Tally Lyncher herself, or Hermione Harry Potter. Okay.
Yep.
I'm doing a type. I'm typing.
Yep.
Wikipedia claims to have results for this character.
Okay, well, here's what the StarWars.com databank has to say. Hermione Bagwa was a waitress at Dex's Diner in the Cocoa Town section of Coruscant, serving a never-ending parade of clients that included speeder drivers, maintenance techs, ambassadors, and Senate aides, and sometimes even a Jedi Knight or two. The is not in the databank. I added that myself. Flair. But yeah, Hermione Bagwa. She's just a human in the background who's just letting WA7 do all of the waiter staff work.
She is part of Dexter's Diner, which is controversial. It's
very controversial.
We've had a lot of Databank brawls around that, including WA7. Yeah, human, 1.57 meters tall, so Tion's going to have a height advantage for sure. Hair color blonde, eye color blue, skin color fair, and there she is. She's a real character.
This is why she's popped to me, because she's just in stereotypically attractive human blonde woman.
Right.
There's nothing...
She looks like she's from like a Cameron Crowe movie in '93 or something like that.
Yeah, and it is funny as they catch up with all the content that, she's in the databank, but like other characters, like big characters from books aren't in there yet,
Susie Porter is the actress.
Susie Porter, all right.
Oh, I didn't know. She also voiced Flo, the other waitress in Dex's Diner.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, okay, the Jawa. So she said Jawa juice.
She is the one.
All right.
But that is not this character.
Yeah. So we get to decide what Hermione Bagwa sounds like. We're on the canons tab. If we go to Legends, does it go crazy? Does she have
let's do that. We sometimes
8 books
do that
about
here.
her?
There needs to be. Maybe that's a character we need to stand a little more of a comic about right now.
The Bagwa one-shot. They do.
Early life and poverty.
Oh, yeah, and there's a different
head
picture
waitress.
of her.
Yeah, she is. She's like I said, buxom blonde, kind of short little waitress skirt there. She's got like something wrapped around her thigh. I wonder. It's almost like it's a blaster down below.
Hold out blaster. Yeah, and she's got something on her hip too. Is that? Looks like an oldie timey grenade. That's not possible.
Old timey grenade. It does kind of look like it. She was a head waitress. Her fellow waitress, WA7 Flo, disliked having to work under an inexperienced organic waitress.
Ooh,
so there's some tension. So, I know. I love this. Wikipedia has it listed as brushes with glory. Hermione was working in the diner at the time that Obi-Wan Kenobi visited Dexter regarding a mysterious saber dart, though it was WA7 that served him a cup of Jawa juice. Then, Quinlan Voss and Colleen Hentz visited the diner 2 years later for information on a female assassin. Hermione was serving sliders, Arties, and special sauce to some customers.
Oh, so is that Clone Wars or is that Dark Disciple?
That's what I'm trying to find out. It's appearances that would make it Strange Allies. Clone Wars, Strange Allies.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah,
all right.
That is, and there's some concept art. Excuse me, I have to lean in here to see this.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking closer at this photo. She's also got these, like, bracelets, these, like, clear, jangly bracelets.
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
In this concept art, she...
Sorry for the silence as we both lean in.
Great radio here. She almost looks like she has a Discman on her hip.
That's what it is. It looks like a Discman if a grenade was the cover to a Discman.
Yeah, and it has like a little attached like pen, and that's what's in the like garter around her right thigh is like a little pen maybe to take orders.
She's basically got like a Cintiq pad, I think they're called, that artists use. Yeah.
And in this character design, this is great stuff. Hope if you guys are driving while listening to Databank Brawl, just pull over. All right, look this up. Hermione Bagwa concept art. She looks a little bit like Cindy Crawford. in the early 90s, circa the Pepsi era commercial.
Oh, yeah.
Pepsi commercial era, I should say, with a top knot, like a crazy top knot. It's interesting, man. They put a lot into just this little background character, which is why I love those damn prequels.
Yeah, this is so great. And yeah, what I love about her the most is if you flashed a picture of this to a relatively normal average person and said, is this character from Star Wars or Riverdale? I think they might go Riverdale.
Yeah. Early drafts of the screenplay had Bagwa being Dexter's wife, but this notion was eventually abandoned.
Oh, man, I would love to see that conversation.
There would have been some questions.
George suddenly changed his mind. Or if there was a scene where Dexter's like, Obi-Wan, have you met my wife, Hermione?
Hermione Bagwa.
All right, well, we don't know a lot about her character other than that she doesn't have a great relationship with WA7 because Flo's a jerk to her.
Right.
She is not married
Definitely
to
not
Dexter. And she is used to a never-ending parade of clients, so that was a slow day in the old Dex diner.
Yeah.
All right, any other thoughts or opinions on this character?
Nope, other than this is why we do the show.
Exactly, and so let us fight. So we have some choices.
Yes.
About where this is going to happen.
Yes. Now, there's two ways to go.
Yeah.
We've had some great knockdown, drag-out fights in Dexter's Diner.
We have effed this diner up.
Absolutely. And some people would say deservedly so, and other people like you and me would be sad. I wonder, though, and go with me. I'm open to whatever you're saying here. As always, I defer to you here, but Tion Medon is the port administrator. He welcomes visitors to Utapau.
Yep.
In Pau City. So what if she has got a well-deserved, first time in a long time, vacation off of Coruscant?
I like that.
Dexter's said, why don't you get away?
And at first she was very offended because he pauses too much in her speech. And like, what? Do I smell? What? What do you mean, get away?
There's just been tension between her and Flo.
Yeah.
She kind of got a crush on Dexter, but he's just not biting. He doesn't care. He doesn't worry. He's not worried about it. It could never work out between us, all right? I'm too much of a free spirit.
And he pulls his pants up.
Yeah, I think she might be takes a vacation and lands on Pau City, 10th level.
I think that she goes to a travel agent who also works in the Cocoa Town section of Coruscant.
Yes.
And gets just a bargain basement trip. And she got, not on paper, but on her little data pad that she wears on her hip at all times that she can use to take orders or get information. She gets a brochure about Sink to a New Glory. Really just trying to upsell how awesome it is to visit the Sinkhole City.
Sinkhole City. Reach down to your dreams.
How low can you go in Sinkhole City?
Ride a boga.
Ride the boga.
The boga.
So I think this is what she can afford. She got upsold.
Yeah.
She's an old hand at upselling.
Yeah.
She has gotten so much just weird, different, exotic alien sauces put on those Bantha burgers.
Too much.
So she knows that she's been being sold a bill of goods, but she's curious. I think this is a peaceful time before the Clone Wars.
You're saying before the Clone Wars?
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I was even going to think after the Clone Wars. The fates, but I like before. It's a different version of the galaxy.
Oh, but you're right. But if we go after, then their fates are up for grabs. Let's go after.
Okay.
Yeah.
After.
So the Empire has newly formed.
Yeah.
Things are getting little uptight on Coruscant. So maybe that's part of the reason that she also wants to get away.
Oh yes, there's some upstart Imperial. Like what are that Imperials? You're what? And they're very, very angry, and they've also kind of like want to increase some of the taxes on Dex. So Dex is not, he's real tense. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on.
In fact, she's being asked to upsell constantly because Dex can't make enough money. He's like, can you suggest that all the fries that we sell are curly?
Tell them for a quarter credit more, the refills are free.
All right, so she goes flying off from Coruscant.
Right.
to the glory of the sinkhole city.
Yeah.
That is. It's Utapau City?
I believe it's Pow City.
Pow City.
Pow City.
Sounds like it should be super exciting.
Which is weird. So this is... they're on Utapau. It's Pow City. I get that. But then your species is Powan. You would be Utapau, and I don't know what's going on. But then Utapau also has Pow in it. There's a lot of
things. There's a lot going on. Happen. And maybe I think that's the first thing that happens when she lands and realizes there's not a tourist center. She was trying to read up about this, and it's like, I don't get this. Some sources say that it's respectful to call them Utapauans. Mm-hmm. Other sources say it's respectful to call them Powans.
Right.
I'm going to Sinkhole City. I want to have a good time. I'm going to go stay down on the famous level 10. And I want to be respectful, but I have no idea what they want to be called. So she gets off the ship. There's not a tourist center. There's just a tall, imposing, red-eyed, sharp-toothed port administrator with a big cane.
And I like, too, that maybe that 10th level, you said famous 10th level, maybe the area in which Grievous was killed was turned into like a suite, you know? You could like this is the famous suite where this happened.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what's going on too.
Yeah. I think there is a murder mystery dinner show called The Last Dinner of the Separatists that happens at that table.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's excited about seeing that. She's read up about that on the brochure, but not a lot about the culture.
Yeah, some Powan in a like a reddish wig gets to say, "So uncivilized."
Exactly. Gets to act out. I'm taking you to a volcano planet. You will be safe there. What? So she lands. She encounters Tion Medon, and I think he greets her. I think he says, "Welcome."
I have reservations for 10th level. Sorry. Should I throw my gum away? Skip trash?
Yes, there's a bin. Is there anything you would like to know?
Yeah, like what's there to do? Like, I get to ride like a space lizard or something?
No.
Well, the brochure said...
there's a replica of the specific varactyl known as Boga that was ridden by the traitor, the Jedi Knight. The traitor, that's what I've been told to say. The Jedi Knight, the traitor. There's a lot of...
Which one?
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Old Obi?
Yeah.
Obi was a regular customer of mine. He came by one day, and then we didn't see him again.
And then suddenly, Tion Medon leans in, and he whispers in her ear, "He was here."
What? Why are you whispering? Why are you up close? Give me some space.
Oh, sorry. I have two talking distances.
Yeah. Why was he? Why was he here? You tell me.
Well, I don't want to spoil the reenactment, the dinner, the murder mystery.
Oh, it's like a part of the thing to do. Is Obi here?
Yeah. No.
I swore he winked at me once.
I'm sure he did.
I heard he liked some Duchess girl.
I feel he winked at me in his own way. He tried to tell me something I don't know if I heard.
Yeah, I know. Win an Utapau.
Yes. Anyway, I'm here to greet you. I know I used to be a noble ports administrator, but now we have fallen on hard times. The Empire is not happy about what happened here, and so my station has been diminished. I am now here to greet people like you.
When's dinner? Like you're talking, I appreciate all the information, but you're not really giving me anything. Like, when's dinner?
Dinner is at the second act break of The Last Dinner of the Separatists.
Like, I have to go through like a show for dinner. Is there like another option, like a tiki bar or something?
There is also
a drink.
There is a bar called So Uncivilized that is located at the exact death point of General Grievous.
Right. Are you the one taking my bags to my room? Where's my room?
No, I mean,
Here you go. And she like puts the bags into his chest, like thumps in.
And he, without even meaning to, he snarls. Excuse me, that is a facial expression of our people. That means Yay!
Well, it doesn't seem like it. Your teeth are weird.
Indeed, they are. Here, let me take your baggage and let me get you to where you belong, which is lower than me. I think they march over.
They start walking down, and she's looking up at him the whole time. She keeps staring at him.
Yeah, she's just staring at him. All right.
Staring at him.
And I think he is seeing some of the other Utapauans or Powans,
right.
And they are kind of snickering because they know how seriously Tion Medon takes himself.
Yeah.
And that they are amused by how low his station has become. Everybody's life is kind of miserable because the Empire's being hard on this planet. Mm-hmm. But Tion's existence is real sad.
Right. And she just keeps staring at him. And finally she turns to him. She's just like, can we get fat? Like, can we hurry up? Like, I'm really tired. Like, it took it's this new service called Star Tours. It was like one of the first flights, they said. They're still working out the kinks or something. This little droid named Rex was he was really obnoxious, didn't know where to go. Like, it was so stupid. Can we just hurry up or whatnot?
And I think in that last moment, he said, hurry up or not, there is a chunk of her gum becomes dislodged. And it sticks itself on Tion Medon's beautiful,
perfect,
cowled sweater garb.
Yeah, perfect.
I must ask that you contain items that are in your mouth, within your mouth, so they do not make contact with my person. That is one of the simple rules of our people.
Look, bub, all right, here's the deal. I know it's kind of hard for you to keep your teeth in your mouth, but maybe, you could shut your trap when you talk to me like that. I've been around the galaxy. I know I'm from Coruscant, an actual city, an actual planet.
His finger comes out, his clawed finger, and it touches the pause button on the elevator, going down to the 10th level.
Ding!
And he turns to her. He growls on purpose. He leans in real quick. I am a proud member of my species, and I will not be spoken to like this.
She just keeps staring at him for a second. He thinks maybe he's gotten through to her.
Yeah.
She's like, do you have a brother or something on Coruscant? Very inquisitive guy. He was dressed in all black. Looks just like you. Do you know him?
No. He's getting real agitated now.
Yeah.
And he, with his claws, he pulls the gum as best as he can out of his sweater.
Sticky, yeah.
It's sticky. And he's like, I must return this to you. And he reaches down and he grinds it into the inner workings of her data pad. He lifts it up, lifts up the flap.
I love that she's still brought her data pad from work on the trip.
And he grinds it in, and it starts to actually spark a little bit.
What the fark are you doing? What are you doing? Dexter can't afford another one of those since the Empire raised our business taxes. What are you doing? And I think then she kind of pushes him, slaps his hand away.
Yeah.
And her pen is out now. It's all dangling on the side. It's out of the garter.
The pen has escaped the garter. And I think Tion Medon doesn't expect to be actually physically pushed. He can usually intimidate people. But Hermione Bagwa hasn't seen the galaxy. The galaxy has paraded in front of her. She has no fear. So she pushes him. He actually hits a bunch of buttons on the elevator. So it starts racing down.
Right.
This is very dangerous. They shouldn't have it here, but they have a double speed button. It's a very bad idea for an elevator.
Yeah.
It starts racing down, and he starts madly hitting buttons. He manages to hit another stop button just as they get to the 10th level, but they both fly up and crack into the ceiling.
Yeah.
Boom, fall down.
Her bags drop. Everything's out.
Yeah.
Clothes are out.
Hermione's Bagwa's bags are everywhere.
Yeah.
And I imagine that she is fiercely angry and must retaliate.
And look, she is a woman around the galaxy, man. Like you said, the galaxy has found her at Coruscant, but she knows the drill, and she's seen a lot of fights at Dex's Diner. Some that might be familiar with to Databank Brawl listeners. So she reaches up as best she can, grabs the cloak, so the front of
cowl,
his cowl,
sweater cowl.
Yeah, it does look like a real high turtleneck thing.
Yeah.
And she pulls him down, but not headbutts him or anything, but she kind of pulls him down and throws him to the ground. Takes him down.
Like a little bit of a judo move. I like
cane,
this.
Yeah, his cane goes flying.
And just then the doors open.
Ding, ding.
And they're like a little disaligned with level 10, but mostly on it. And she manages, I think, to get a good throw, and he rolls.
Oh, yeah. Out into the floor.
Out into the floor, right?
The lobby of the elevator lobby, yeah.
Loaded with tourists.
Oh, yeah.
All sorts of little information kiosks about where events happen, full of Imperial disinformation about the horrible things that Obi-Wan Kenobi did.
Yes. Yeah, and so they're watching. There's a lot of different. There's some Weequays, some Quarrens, some Torgudas, Twi'leks are there. They're actually part of the show. They're like actresses off duty. They're kind of watching. Just everyone mouth drop. They don't know.
What? Everybody knows Tion Medon. He's part of the story. There's actually an Athorian actor who plays Tion Medon with a really offensive face mask in the show. So,
really culturally inappropriate.
Really culturally inappropriate. Yeah. People get greeted by Tion Medon. Then they see this just caricature of him in the show. So then they see him just come flying out, and like there's like what? What could have done that to the mighty Tion Medon? And out strides Hermione Bagwa.
Yeah,
dragging her bags, and I think she's still mad, and I think she's still yelling at Tion Medon, right?
Yeah. She's got the what's left of her bags, right? And she just does the old classic, just pummeling them with the bag.
She's doing some bag pummeling. All right,
like some purse punching.
And I think Tion Medon has had enough. His planet is falling apart.
He's been on the defensive the entire time.
Yeah, his everything is falling apart for him. People are pointing and laughing. Like, is that Tion Medon? Is he getting beaten by bags?
Right.
And I think he grabs his cane, and I think he swipes it behind her knee, and she goes down like a sack of potatoes. Space potatoes
on the ground.
And she's down, and I think then Tion Medon manages to kind of half get up. Right. He grabs her by the dress, and like again, he really thinks close talking is the way
it's his style
to resolve things. Yeah. So he brings her closer. He's like, "You must have basic respect for me," and I think he can't even finish the sentence before Hermione lets him have something.
Oh, it's a good old-fashioned hocked loogie. Like, we're talking third grade playground where your friend Terry would do it, and you'd be like, Terry, stop. That's disgusting.
Hocked loogie is the name of another Utapowan who also works.
Hocked loogie. He works over in baggage claim.
But he does indeed get a big... as you were so eloquently making that sound perfect.
Oh, it's one of my least favorite sounds in the world, so the fact that I brought it up is ironic.
Did it quite well.
Yeah.
But I think this explodes like a proton bomb right in the middle of Tion Medon's face.
And people are,
and I think he has that grab on her dress, right? And I think he picks her up and he just throws her. Now, they're in the middle of the early show of The Last Dinner of the Separatists.
Right.
So some people start to get confused of like,
they think it's part of the show.
This must be part of the show. But he has just thrown this human woman through the air. And I think there are actors dressed up as the Separatists at the table right now, and she goes flying through the air, and bang, she lands on her back and slides across the table. We've got all of these actors. They're dressed up as Wat Tambor.
Yeah.
They're dressed up as Newt Gunray.
Yeah.
All these separatists. Poggle the Lesser.
Sand Hill is there.
Yeah, all of them. Just clumsy, bad, incorrect species dressed as them. There's a Toydarian playing Poggle the Lesser. It's all just terrible.
That's offensive.
Yeah, very offensive. Yeah.
That's offensive.
But then Hermione Bagwa, bang, slides across the table, and Tion Medon stands up, and I think he just full-on roars. His big claws are out, and he is still running. He has snapped.
No one's seen this kind of emotion from their port administrator in a long time.
No.
So he snaps. I think the performer playing Wat Tambor realizes early on. He's like, I think this is Wat Tambor recognizes you're not. And someone's like, Doug, you're not really Wat. And it's a humanoid from Karelia.
Best improviser from Karelia.
Yeah.
This is where he ended up.
He's one of those ones that never breaks character.
No.
You're always like, Ted, we're just at the bar after the improv show.
Yeah. And Tion Medon is, he's running over, and people hear him speak at like kind of a medium volume, like strangely. It's like, if I have any respect, now is the time.
So what you're saying is he's called up his warriors.
His internal warriors.
His internal warriors.
Yeah, it's like, if I have any self-respect for myself, now is the time to stand up for it. And he's just, oh man, there's like a spit coming out of his bared teeth. He's gone off the deep end.
Right.
Because this is going to be bad for his planet. This is going to be bad for him.
Yeah.
But he's coming for Hermione.
Yeah. Yep.
As he is bearing down on her, claws out.
He kind of leaps for her.
Yeah.
And she's on the ground, like on the table, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's right in the middle of the table.
Right in the middle of the table. She sees, just imagine this from her point of view. She just sees this tall, crimson-robed, gray, blood-dripping eyes kind of looking guy with claws out and flying. And she, at the last second, think Luke on Hoth with an AT-AT foot coming down, just dives out of the way. And so he lands hard, smack dab. His nails scratch the table. He bounces for a little bit. The actor who plays Wat Tambor, Doug, is like, whoa, man, are you okay? And Tion's like, don't look at me. And she rolls onto the floor, gets up on her feet, kind of like, wow, are you serious? Like, are you serious right now?
And he's still in a rage.
1-star review for Utapau.
That only makes him angrier.
The whole planet at this point.
Yeah, and I think she's pulling out what works for Datapad, and she's trying to go to the Star Wars version of Yelp, which is Zelp. And I think the actor who's playing Newt Gunray stands up and says, is this legal? And Tion Medon just... actually, you know what? His claws are out. He scratches him across the face.
Yeah.
The rubber Nemodian mask gets just shredded. There's blood. There's screaming. Tion Medon's, he's really lost it.
And Tion Medon barks out, I will make it legal.
Shink. And now he's turned back to Hermione. He's like, I will give you a 1-star review. It is one word, death.
And he reaches on the ground and grabs his cane.
Ooh, yeah.
And now she reaches over and grabs the Wat Tambor mask from Doug, just yanks it off his head. And now...
Basically the green mushroom, the green muffin top that is Wat Tambor's head.
Yes. And he is swinging, Tion Medon is swinging his cane, and she's using the mask as a shield.
As a shield.
So now Wat Tambor's face is protecting her.
Okay, now in the just normal tourists who are here to see this are like, this is amazing.
This is the best floor show ever.
They are pulling out their data pads, and they are giving this 5 stars on Zelp.
Yeah. Out above story here, once I fought and arrested with a guy on the floor at the farmer's market, at the outdoor floor of the farmer's market in Hollywood. And as I arrested the guy, Jeff Garland yells out, "This is a great show!"
There's some realism for you, people.
This has happened to me.
This is realistic.
This has happened to me. So, so he's swinging. Ting, ting, ting. She's blocking it.
It's surprising. I mean, she's gotten in lots of fights in Dex's Diner. Dex's Diner, you are waitstaff and bouncer, right? So she is surprisingly skilled.
Yeah.
And I think that Tion Medon is going to try to take it to the next level. Mm-hmm. So what there is an animatronic recreation of Boga the Varactyl. Mm-hmm. So I think he is going to get her away from the crowd. He grabs her by the throat. He manages to grab her throat.
He's tall. He's got that advantage.
So he feinted with the cane. She blocked it with a Wat Tambor max. He grabbed her by the throat, and he throws them both on the Boga animatronic recreation, and he hits go, and it goes da-dunk, 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 da-dunk. And it starts following the path.
Oh, yeah. It's on a preset path.
It's a preset
It's like
path.
A Disney ride.
Yeah. And there's an animatronic Grievous's bike that starts going. And there was an actor in there that didn't know it was time for him to go on. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, oh, it's a time already? Okay.
Yeah. And they go racing, and I think they're tussling. She is yelling out great things.
I hope a lot of people have headphones on when they're listening to this.
Horrible quips, just insulting, offensive. She has learned how to offend every species in the galaxy.
Yeah.
And she is yelling out just horrific things, right?
Yeah, what are you, a Q-tip? You're a tall Q-tip? We have those on Coruscant. We have hot chocolate and Q-tips on Coruscant. You're just a horrible Q-tip. What's going on? This creature, is this even real? What's going on? This I'm sure it wasn't. I knew Obi-Wan. He wouldn't ride one of these things.
Trying to get the pen that is attached to her data pad. He's trying to get it wrapped around her throat and throttle.
Oh,
I mean, he has no reason to be proud at this point.
No, he is stooping to places you maybe shouldn't go.
But the animatronic Boga the Vractyl gets to the end of the ride where it's like, and throws you off. And you go rolling into where Grievous was murdered, which is now also, you can act out the scene, but there's also a nice bar called So Uncivilized.
Yes. And again, this is told from the point of the Empire, so this is like where Grievous was murdered in cold blood.
Yes, he was a separatist, but he was nowhere near as bad as a Jedi.
Yes. The Jedi caused this conflict.
Yeah. It turns out the separatists, we maybe should have listened to them. It was all the Jedi.
Yeah.
All the Jedi.
They feel Dooku had some good ideas.
Yeah. He didn't execute them well. Good ideas.
He kept the buses running.
So now there's alcohol everywhere.
Yeah.
There are the people who I can't stand this show are down there just getting hammered.
And some people are just taking pictures.
Yeah.
Ranks. Yeah. So I think she stands up, right?
Yeah.
He stands up, and now we have a good old fashioned showdown.
Yeah.
At the OK Corral called So Uncivilized.
Yeah. Yep. And I think because Tion Medon knows the show, he knows where the blaster prop is stored.
Yes.
It is behind the bar. So he makes this leap. He clears the bar.
Right.
He's behind the bar. The bartender now is like, what the hell? What the Carabast? And Tion Medon grabs the blaster and he fires. It is, for some reason, a working blaster.
Live rounds, huh?
Live rounds. It's not a good idea.
No, we don't recommend this here.
Databank Brawl. Don't. No.
Keep your blaster off.
I have done Mystery Dinner Theater in the real world. I've done some things I shouldn't with a cap gun. So I'm saying.
We're both really digging into our personal experiences.
really some personal experiences there. Yeah. I won't say what I did. It'll be a mystery. Anyway, but I am ashamed. He fires at her. Okay. How does Hermione Bagwa has used to being in rough and tumble fights, but this has now suddenly become life or death.
Yes.
And she's in unfamiliar territory. How does she respond to all this?
He's not a great shot. So she's able to
wild.
Kind of miss. And then with what's left of the Wat Tambor mask, she deflects a shot.
This is a good mask.
It's a good mask, but that's it. The mask is destroyed.
Okay.
And he's kind of frozen, maybe fear of himself and his actions and how far he's fallen. She reaches, she kind of looks around her surroundings, and there's a guy sitting there very quietly, just kind of drinking. He hasn't moved much.
Yeah.
And he has a very large disc-like hat. And his name is Embo, and he is a bounty hunter by trade. And she looks over and says, "Thanks, bub." Grabs his hat, yanks it off of Embo's head, and flings it at Tion Medon like a fatal frisbee.
Oh, wow. And I think Tion Medon tries to dodge, but there's something about that helmet that's just pinpoint accurate, and it cracks Tion Medon in the skull. Yeah. He falls back. There is an explosion of blood that runs down the rivets of his face.
Yeah.
It's not pretty at all. And he falls back. Booze is shattered. Some rare Tonneray wine shattered.
Embo's just laughing.
Embo's and his Anuba, his pet, also laughing, chortling. Embo's fine with this.
Yeah.
And I think Tion Medon falls back, but he clambers over and he leaps over the bar. Now he just has some knocked a blaster out of his hand, and it skidded across the floor. Now he just has some shattered bottles in his hand.
Right.
And he is in even more of a blood rage now that he is bruised and literally physically broken a little bit.
Yeah.
I think this might be a good point to pause our combat and decide who should win, who's going to win, who's in the right, who's in the wrong.
I think she's in the wrong. We can't, she started this. Her attitude was wrong. But I think, though, at the end of the day, sometimes you just have to be above what your customers are.
Yeah.
Sometimes the customer's wrong. I've been in the situations where the customer's wrong, but I think we all have. But sometimes the customer's right. And I think as a port administrator, as someone trying to get business to the planet of Utapau following the ending of the Clone War and the arrival of the Galactic Empire, he should have acted better.
Yeah.
And I think maybe he deserves to die.
I think... Yeah, it's because here's the thing. Hermione was incredibly rude.
Horrible.
But she did not mean to spit her gum out and just came flying out of her very talkative and judgmental mouth. That happens. But yes, she didn't. Technically, she asked for some information and some help. Yeah. That's what he's there for. It's not her fault.
Right.
Tion's my preferred character among these two.
Mine too. Yeah.
But I agree with you that he should lose, and because it hasn't happened in a while, I think it is time for death, for just a straight-up databank murder.
Yeah.
So now we get to decide exactly how that happens. How shameful is Tion Medon's death, or is there a little bit of saving grace in it?
No. I think he's defeated physically. Like this Imbo's mask into his face is really causing problems. She's like, what is your problem? All I wanted was get to my room, get some food. This is stupid. She's still acting bad, but she's yelling. And I think he wants to beg for forgiveness. And he goes down, starts to step towards her, goes down to one knee when he slips on some of the wine and loses his balance and falls back, tumbles, and is now hanging over the edge of the bar.
Okay.
Much like Obi-Wan was at the end of their fight.
I agree with all of that with one slight change.
Yep.
I think when he went down to his knee, it was a trick.
Okay.
He was trying to bring her in.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he's quite done with his bloodlust yet.
Yes.
But I think when this moment of hubris happens, when he slips on this hubris, the shattered remains of that Tanneray wine, and he tumbles back, and he's suddenly like,
right.
Is this? He actually says out loud to himself, "Is this what the Master Jedi felt? Everything at stake, hanging, dangling, your entire life in front of you. The possibility of victory, if only you could think of it. What have I done? I've brought shame to the role of the port administrator. I know I'm supposed to have patience. That is the main job. The port administrators, to tell people where to put things. I needed a place to put my anger, and I put it on this woman. This stupid, basic human woman.
And
I'm a fool.
She has walked to the edge. He's hanging, and she looks down at him. She's been hearing this. She lifts up her right foot, looks down at him, and says, "Yeah, well, you shouldn't have been such a jerk." And she boom, kicks his hands.
Yeah.
I think he is kicked free. And much like Boga before him, falls all the way down to the bottom.
Again, I agree with most of that. I think she stops. And I think he falls.
Right.
But I think that there is a camera that floats around recording the events of each show. And a camera had caught the drama of his failure. And I think as he's falling, this camera falls with him. And it is recording his final moments. And I think the camera actually has a little arm that goes, reaches out, and it catches him. And for just a moment, Tion Medon thinks he is saved.
Right.
And he is, a second chance. I knew that if I kept the pride of my people in my heart, that I would live to see another day, despite my own errors, my own failings, that I could succeed like the great Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. And the camera, and a little hologram pops up.
Right.
And it's the Imperial officer.
Right.
Who watches over all of the entertainment and festivity. Yep. And the Imperial officer says, we can't have people saying good things about Jedi. Camera, release the port administrator.
Yeah.
And I think then he is let go. And as he falls, he has a little bit of self-pride that at least he died saying the truth in the face of the Empire.
Yeah.
And then he hits the wall. Oh, he hits another wall. Oh, he hits another wall. Who knew how deep the sinkhole city could go?
Absolutely. Like Homer Simpson hitting the canyon walls, he falls all the way down.
Dope, says Tion Medon all the way until his terrible, terrible obliteration at the bottom of the pit.
Yeah. And I think we fade out. And then there's a wipe, and then we fade in. And there's a jingle jangle at the door. Hey, Dexter, looks like Hermione's back. She walks in, and Dexter says, well, if it isn't Hermione, how was your trip? And she just looks at it and says, I'm going to need a vacation from my vacation. And she goes to work.
She goes to work. And I think one of the first people she waits on is one of this exact same species. And then she's like, I forgot. I never asked. Is it Utapau? Utapowan? Utapowan? Who cares? And on she goes with her life as the brave and loud Hermione Bagwa. That is our story. Oh, man, I think we're going to have to figure out in our databank how many fun interactive museums we've had.
Yeah, we've had
a couple. They're so much fun.
A few.
They're so much fun. That was a great fight. It was great to get outside of Dexter's Diner.
Yeah, it was a good prequel fight for us there. A lot of
good
stuff.
prequel fight. I think we learned a lot. I think the next time you watch that Dexter's Diner scene, you're going to feel more connected.
You'll have some subtext.
More connected to the character of Hermione Bagwa. Oh, man, that was a lot of fun. If there are characters that you would like to see fight just like that, if there are characters you would like to see just brought to the depths of shame, like both of these characters really were, let us know. You can use the hashtag Databank Brawl. Ken, where can people find you in all of your adventures?
Hey, you can find me rooting on all the prequel characters at Ken Napzok, on Twitch as well at Ken Napzok, where I can play Battlefront 2. Don't forget my podcast, The Napzok Files and Daily Thrones.
Soon, Hermione Bagwa will be a character in Battlefront 2.
DLC pack.
DLC Bagwa. Everybody wants that. As always, we want to thank Tony Thaxton for writing our awesome theme music. He writes Star Wars songs all the time. He wrote a new song for our main show, too. You can check out his Patreon. Just search for Tony Thaxton on the old patreon.com website. You can search for me. I'll tell you where you can search so you don't have to actually search. You can go to josephscrimshaw.com to find out about live shows. You can check out my comedy albums. I got one about Star Wars called Rebel Scum. I have another one I really like called Flaw Fest. That one has some Star Wars jokes in it, too, because I can't be stopped. You can also listen to my podcast, Obsessed, which is back up and rolling. Information on that on my website as well at josephscrimshaw.com. Check out ForceCenter's Patreon. It's patreon.com/ForceCenter. Check out our merch at tpublic.com/user/ForceCenter. You can find me personally on Twitter and Instagram as at Joseph Scrimshaw. You can like ForceCenter on Facebook and follow us on Twitter as at ForceCenterPod. And until next time, as Luke Skywalker once said, well, no one was really listening to him, I care. That's it for Databank Brawl.